happened to you, X-Men? You used to be cool. Dark Phoenix is the 10th and most likely last X-Men movie we're gonna see in a while. Not only was the movie a critical and audience disappointment, but it bombed something fierce at the box office. People joke since Disney just bought Fox around that time, they kinda weren't pushing it that hard because, we'll just work them into the MCU, and yeah, it feels like a good idea by now. But okay, to the film's credit, everybody was saying this was the worst X-Men movie by far ever made, and I don't think it's that bad. It's still bad, but X-Men Origins, man, come on. The film centers around the X-Men, I think in the 90s now, but don't get excited, it's not the 90s X-Men. I don't even know how all these characters apparently have gone through no growth spurt over the span of 20 to 30 years. Regardless, the X-Men are kind of like Adam West Batman now. There's like a phone that the president uses whenever there's an emergency. They have their own plane they can use that now can go into space. I mean, okay, give them this. It really is kind of like a comic book movie. One of the big complaints of the early X-Men films is that they played it too safe, and no, this one's definitely going all out. But on one of their missions, saving some astronauts, this strange fiery entity goes into one of them. Can you imagine who? Yeah, it's Jean. It's always Jean because, yeah, this will be the one that gets Fénix right, even though, wasn't there a Firebird in the last one, but this is somehow creating the Firebird now? What? I don't know, but when they get back, Jean is not exactly the same. Oh no, arguably the most boring character in all the movies is not the same. But don't worry, boring Cyclops is there to help her out. Formerly non-boring Mystique, but now boring because Jennifer Lawrence clearly wanted out of this role, tries talking to Jean because they're now suddenly best friends. But Jean can't control her powers or her mental stability and she starts going nuts. She tries to find Magneto because I guess he's a powerful mutant who's also nuts, to try and search for a safe haven, but of course things keep going wrong and humans and mutants get in fights again, and I think even Magneto starts pointing out all the tired cliches in these movies. There's always a speech and nobody cares. But on top of that, this alien race is also looking for Jean. Oh, okay, at least we got aliens this time. Who I guess is supposed to be White Queen. I think? I don't care enough to look it up. And naturally, the alien force that possessed Jean is called the Fénix. She's having trouble controlling it and all sorts of destruction occurs because of it. Battles are fought, characters are killed, and I could really care less. While I liked X-Men First Class, I felt the characters that were the most interesting were Xavier, Mystique, and Magneto. And actually Beast too, he was pretty good. As the films continued though, they either killed off a lot of the X-Men that were, I guess, gonna be big players, but then focused on the old X-Men again with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart and so forth. But then they're trying to build this group again with Nightcrawler and Quicksilver as a main character now, and oh yeah, he's taken out too. In all these movies, I never got why they felt they had to do Dark Phoenix. Not even Phoenix, they always had to jump right to Dark Phoenix. I guess because they feel it's a big story, it's aliens and fire and it's classic imagery and you can be really symbolic with someone dying and coming back to life and oh, beautiful, but you never got Jean right in any of these movies. I'll just say it too, Jean is not that interesting a character. She's the level-headed one that all the cool characters talk to when they're feeling bummed out. And that's good, you need that, but that's something that's established over time. The other movies didn't set her up in enough time, and these movies don't set her up in enough time. The idea is we're supposed to be shocked when someone that's so kind goes and kills all these people. But I don't know shit about this Jean, so why should I care? Same thing with Nightcrawler and Storm. Yeah, we saw them a bit in the previous film, but if you were to ask me what are they like in these movies, I don't know. They're just kind of there and do their things with their powers. I'm surprised Psylocke didn't come back. Remember, she gives this evil look at the end of the last one, and okay, that's not a thing. Like the Firebird's not a thing. These make no sense! But okay, for as empty as this movie is, I don't think it's god-awful. There's still some really neat scenes, there's still some really cool shots, and yeah, when they focus on the mutants I think are cool, like Xavier and Magneto, they still do the job pretty well. And they still look badass, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there was something cool about seeing them get on the X uniforms, and they're bright yellow, and they're getting in this ship that can just go into space, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I liked about X-Men. They could just do crazy shit like this sometimes. It's like it was a comic book, and yeah, that was a little neat to see. But by the time you get to the end, you just don't care. It's like watching the end of Justice League. You can tell that they're trying to set it up like, ooh, wasn't that a massive thing you just saw? And you kind of shrug, not really. I'm probably gonna forget about it after I get some fast food on the drive home. Yeah, it's not a good movie, but I don't think it's embarrassingly bad. I feel like a lot of other X-Men movies have done things that were just like shameful and putting your fist in your mouth. Oh, how could they do that? This is so tired and not interesting, it couldn't even generate that much anger. And again, there were one or two good moments that I was like, alright, that was kinda neat. But they don't add up to much. Dark Phoenix isn't the worst, it's just bad. A bad note to end the X-Men movies on, but maybe a good note to start a resurgence.